Listen, Bryce James, he makes his Arizona debut. I know a lot of people was waiting on this. Bryce James has been in a lot of, talks and things like that. People believe that LeBron James may be waiting for him. In my mindset, why not wait for him at the end of the day? But what I will tell you is this. The whole Bronny dynamic, we're going to get into it all because I believe Bryce James has an opportunity to shake off the mold that his brother is enduring right now, So we're going to get all into it, ladies and gentlemen, because Bryce James has made his debut for the Arizona Wildcats. We're going to get all into it, ladies and gentlemen. This was a showcase. But like I said, he made his debut. We're going to get into it, ladies and gentlemen. Bryce James, the son of Los Angeles Lakers legend LeBron James, made his exhibition start ahead of his freshman collegiate season with Arizona Friday night for the Red Blue Showcase. James started alongside Koa Pete, Montagus Krivas, Anthony Del Oroso, and Jaden Bradley for Team Blue. So, like I said, all of this took place, if I'm not mistaken, Bryce James' introduction to Tucson. So that's where I'm looking at a lot of different things right now. But listen, man, Bryce James, he did his thing. He finished the exhibition game with 3 points on 1 of 3 shooting from the field, making 1 of 2 3-point attempts, and taking no shots from the foul line. He added 1 assist, 1 block, 1 steal, while committing no turnovers. All of this was done in 18 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. Now, what I will tell you is this. Bryce, just like with Bronny, they garner a lot of attention. Now you are at Arizona. Listen, the magnifying glass is going to be on Bryce this season. He's going to have to play well. I believe he's better than Bronny, in my humble opinion. And to be honest with you, Bronny was thrown out there as the sacrificial lamb. We just got to keep it all the way 100 with you. Even his game, just like I said, he played a few hours ago, and that wasn't the best performance ever. But you still have people coming out saying, oh, he looks like a different player. He looks like, we're going to have to start calling it how it is at the end of the day. But I do believe that Bryce will have a better, I think he's going to be better than his brother. Now, his brother went through a health scare. Let's keep it 100, which he had the cardiac situation that halted his whole collegiate situation that he was supposed to have for USC. We got to keep it 100 with you. Bronny didn't really have an opportunity to do what Bryce is about to undergo. And it's going to be pressure. You are LeBron James' son, so you're not going to be able to run away from that. Now, LeBron James would be stupid not to hang around and get all of his kids in the league. He talks about Bryce may have his own timeline. If LeBron, I don't know if he's going to be able to get them all on the Lakers, but I think it's going to be a situation where he will get an opportunity in the league. That's what I believe is going to take place. I don't think that after this Bronny situation that the Lakers are going to be jumping to basically bring in another LeBron James child. I don't think that's smart. Like I said, even though LeBron James revealed that he's postponing his retirement, that he's not going to. Who knows what's going to happen with his retirement, but we all know that LeBron is getting close. Is it going to be 2? I believe LeBron is going to play for another 3 years, barring injury. I do see a situation where he plays this year, he plays next year, and then I think the farewell tour. Because we got to think about LeBron for 1 second. LeBron is still like like the focal point one, focal point two on the team. He's really 1A or 1B. He hasn't really fell into that secondary role just yet. I know a lot of people feel like, oh, it's Luka's team. Oh, it was AD's team. No, listen, it was LeBron James' team. You know, they move as LeBron goes. LeBron was still the number one option. I didn't care what nobody said about Anthony Davis. You know, so we haven't seen LeBron even take a back seat. So LeBron really could prolong this thing as long as he really wants. Does LeBron eventually want to come off the bench? Because that could be in the next 3 years. You know, the way LeBron is taking care of his body, he's going to be at least a top 3 player on any team that he's on, if not the best player when it comes down pound for pound. You know, because in the clutch, you're going to want to put the ball in LeBron's hands and clear everything out. You know, so I'm just saying how Bryce could coincide with LeBron James, because like I said, LeBron could very well just take, like I said, you see these vets. Look at Russell Westbrook. Look at some of our other vets as they age. You know, they eventually go to it. They take a back seat, and then they eventually take a place off on the bench. LeBron James, I know it sounds unfathomable, but he hasn't even underwent those steps yet. You know, he's still the number one option to me personally in Los Angeles, even though they pushing Luka. So let's see what happens. I do believe that LeBron's influence, his power, no matter what Bryce really does. You know, I'm not saying that he can go out there and play like complete, you know, trash. But as long as he shows some level of promise, some level of, you know, that he wants to be there, I believe that Bryce James will, you know, become successful in the NBA. You know, we're gonna see, but we will be having more news updates and more involving Bryce. This is just the beginning. This was just an exhibition. We got a whole collegiate situation. You know, we're going to get into Kiyan, who I believe Kiyan is better than all of them, and he doesn't get the just due. We talk a lot about being NBA ready. You never hear that about Kiyan Anthony. You know, Kiyan, he don't play in the West Coast. Kiyan plays in New York. And I know a lot of people, I don't know what's going on, but it seems like the media, these big sites, they only are picking up the West Coast high school players. I don't know what's happening. We must have forgot that New York was the mecca of basketball. But I'm telling you now, Kiyan Anthony is NBA ready. You don't have to sugarcoat nothing. He doesn't need the Carmelo rub. Kiyan is an NBA prospect, ladies and gentlemen. And I feel like we get so caught up with Bryce, we get so caught up with Bronny, we don't get enough credit to Kiyan. And I hear Flight Sports, we're going to start shifting the focus, because I believe Kiyan is going to have one of those seasons despite not getting talked about. This guy Kiyan was ranked the number one player in New York, in the high school player. This is what I'm trying to say. Bronny, Bryce, they never was ranked like that. You know, all they have been doing was getting the rub from their father. You know, so I just feel like we got to start showing some more love to Kiyan Anthony and Carmelo Anthony. I'm going to leave it at that. But shout out to Bryce. This is just the beginning. It's Flight Sports TV. We're going to be bringing more news updates and more. Peace and love. You already know what it is.